Welcome to Tuesday Night Modern, brought to you by Top Deck Productions at GameSwap Mason.
Yeah, we've got a barn burner here for you.
On
Ready
the
to
left-hand side, on my side,
burn some barns.
on Taylor's side, Taylor Gunn here with the handsome John Douglas. We're going to watch Mono White Marauder
I don't know what that is.
Neither do I.
Pretty sure it's a made-up name.
against Justin Gebbing playing Jeskai. He's been dedicated to this Jeskai deck. Don't think that this is like he's on a gravy train here because of the previous good finishes in the recent weeks.
Yeah, I mean, he was on Blue Moon before this.
Was he?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's bounced around in the Jeskai colors quite a bit.
It's
I
good to
can't-
bounce around a little bit.
I can't wait to find out what Mono White Marauder is.
Well, I'd imagine there's planes.
In no other types of basics.
Yeah, oh, there's a Weathered Wayfarer.
Off of basic planes.
Just exuding value there.
Pretty decent art there. Weathered Wayfarer is one that it's a card I used to love, like back when Cube was like first becoming a format.
Oh, yeah, I love playing that card in Standard. It was
Um,
a sweet Standard format.
Yeah, the cubes were very different. Like there wasn't like this consensus on what like the core of every cube should be. And so one of the cubes we played a lot had a Weathered Wayfarer in it, and I loved it.
Whose cube was that? Did my cube have a Weathered Wayfarer in it?
I think Tom Lapilli's cube, his like original
Okay.
versions of it had a Weathered Wayfarer in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a white 1-drop. Just gives you a ton of value. Not very aggressive, which a lot of white decks tend to be in cube, but
Yeah, I think the
oh, we've got a Mistveil Plains. That's one of my favorites. That was a really cool cycle.
what does that card do?
So it's a land plains.
Mhm.
Comes into play tapped.
Mhm.
If you control, I believe it's 2 white permanents. It might just be a white permanent, but you can pay a white, tap it, and put a card in your graveyard on the bottom of your library. Ah, there it is. 2 white permanents. There you go.
Oh yeah, they did a whole cycle of these activated, quote unquote basic lands.
Yeah, this is definitely the most exciting of the set.
Right.
I have played a Sapseed Forest before.
The old sap seed.
I will admit to playing a Sapseed Forest.
Were you a sap for a sap seed?
Sapseep.
Seep? It's sap seep?
Sapseep.
It really,
Little Sapseep. Looks like Logan's a little bit sappy for these Squadron Hawks. He just pulled a full 3 off of it.
yeah, man. If you're gonna get one, get them all.
No, you usually get 2. Getting 2 is usually where you want to be.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. 2.
Or one, if, like, you're interested in the mega shuffles.
Yeah. But getting the second shuffle is usually worthwhile. So this looks less like a Marauder deck.
And more like a martyr deck.
Yes.
So this is a Martyr of Sand. So what this card does, it lets you reveal your hand and sacrifice it to gain life equal to the number of white cards that you show.
It's a bit more than that.
What? I thought that's what you did. I thought that was the...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 white cards. So he's going to gain 18. It's 3 times the number of white cards that you reveal.
Oh, wow.
Yes, quite a bit of life. Which is how the deck operates. You gain a bunch of life to get out of range.
You also play a card called Proclamation of Rebirth.
Well, maybe. So he might not be playing Martyr Proc.
I can't imagine you just playing Martyr. Maybe he's not full-blown Martyr Proclamation but he's just willing to...
So the way you play the non-proclamation of rebirth is you run the Sarah Ascendants, which obviously is tremendous as a 1-drop, in that he's usually going to be a big old lifelinking flying body.
I don't know what a mono white martyr is either. It's a martyr. Like somebody who dies for their belief in one thing. Martyr.
Regardless, you also get to play Ranger of Eos, which lets you fetch both parts of that little interaction.
Sure. Combo, if you will. But you won't, so...
I won't. I absolutely won't. Squadron Hawk's a nice addition to this deck. Mistveil Plains is actually pretty important to this deck as well, because you can start putting your martyrs on the bottom when you draw your rangers and find your dead martyrs and just keep gaining life, just to keep yourself out of range. You know what card really does a number to this mono white martyr deck, though? A certain little raptor from the new set.
Oh yeah, man. I was commenting on the fact that that this card has an ability fairly unique to the Magic universe. I think there's only one other card that says players can't gain life.
No, there's multiple cards.
Well, I don't. So there's the ley line. There's a red ley line that does it.
Correct.
There's withered wretch. No, that's not the name of the card.
Stigma Lasher.
Stigma Lasher. I don't know why I got withered.
There's also like Skullcrack and like all the instants that do it. Flames of the Blood Hand.
You're right, but this is a permanent that just you play it and that's the effect it has on the game.
Sure. There's also Sulfuric Vortex.
Can you imagine that card in Modern? It would push the burn deck over the top. Here is a... Yeah. Is this a Ghost of St. Truft?
Looks like it.
The friendly ghost?
Erebos. Your own Platinum Empyrean. Good little tidbits from the chat.
No, that card says players' life totals can change.
Yeah.
Right. That's different.
Oh, it says something different, but it has the same effect. Got it.
All right. I guess we're splitting hairs tonight because...
I mean, clearly you're splitting hairs.
So this Geist of St. Truft, it looks so out of place when you read these Jeskai deck lists. It's just like Counterspell, Lightning Bolt, Serum Visions, and then Geist of St. Truft. And what it is it's just the most efficient way to kill somebody.
Yeah.
It's solidly on the board.
So it's not too out of place. You'll note that back in the heyday of Modern, you used to play Geist of St. Truft in a more tempo-ish build.
Right.
And that's kind of what we have here with Geist, Snapcaster, Bolt, sometimes V-Click. Just very efficient, low-end, high-impact creatures.
Man, I tell you what, I love having Justin on camera. His deck is the Fine China. Look
the Fine China.
Promo creatures, full art lightning bolts. Just really nice choices he's made here.
Well, I don't agree with most of those choices, but
right.
I know
you don't like a foil.
Right, I don't like a foil for the most part.
I don't like foils in my constructed decks, but I'm willing to appreciate the time and effort it takes to trading into all those promos.
That's a spell queller. Just a naked old spell queller.
Yeah, there just is no promo spell queller, I think.
There is not. He could get the pre-release spell quellers.
Did he quell a spell?
No.
So the spell queller's just hanging out, hanging back
Well, he's at 11. He doesn't want to give up.
too much. It looks like he has another spell queller in hand if he needs to quell a spell.
Of course.
Oh,
That is
no,
correct.
That's a Geist.
No, there's a spell queller too.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Lieutenant Shaggy Logan ain't no slouch either when it comes to foils. That's a double negative. But Logan does have some foils. We'll give you that.
Sure, he's got the foil land. I'd be more impressed if these were F&M Squadron Hawks versus the Eternal Masters ones.
Why?
Because that's another promo you could possibly have.
Yeah, I don't think promos are necessarily strictly better or anything. You can't get Eternal Masters foils just for free. You could definitely get the promos for free.
Oh, if he had promo Squadron Hawks that he had gotten for free,
Yeah,
dude, that's respect level through the roof.
through the roof.
Because that means he was playing that awful standard format.
That wasn't a promo during the awful standard format.
It was a promo at some point in time. You had to play standard.
You did have to play
'Cause you're
standard.
playing F&M.
That format that it was in was great though.
This game's quickly getting out of Logan's reach here.
Well, he's still got a ton of life.
Yeah, I just don't know what you do with it. Like, unless you're gonna Proclamation of Rebirth one of these Martyr Sands and regain all that life, like, I'm just not.
So what he could do if he had any other creature is let the Squadron Hawk die, and then cast another Squadron Hawk after Mistveil Plainsing the other one to the bottom, and just loop these Squadron Hawks infinitely.
Yeah, he needs more blockers than that.
More than 2?
Yeah.
I think 2 would be great. You get to kill this Geist, rebuild, kill the Snapcaster, and then the Spell Queller doesn't do anything. It
He
has
just
to
took
back.
10.
He did just take 10, but that's only a third of his life total.
Only.
Oh, the Spell Snare on the Squadron Hawk. That's a rough one.
Yeah, so this could that's how you break up that combo is you prevent the search one time. Another beautiful foil planes. And a nice Oblivion Ring F&M foil. I did like that art.
Sure. Yeah, it's pretty good art. I don't think it's as good as the original, but it is good. Looks like we're taking another 8 here, going on to 12. Now we're in the danger zone.
Justin's got Bolt in hand. Bolt unknown.
Bolt, Geist.
Is that what that is? It's a Geist?
Yeah.
Noted.
So here's the Mistveil Plains again. That's what he's using to put his Squadron Hawks on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Hoping to draw a Squadron Hawk here, because I don't think he has any cards in hand. Apparently does not.
Oh, well, that was a mistake. That's going to cost him a whole turn.
Or the whole game.
Well, I mean, I think he was dead either way, but if he blocks the Angel, he gets like a full turn cycle. I don't know if he has a card in his hand. Because then he only takes 4 from 12, putting him to 8. Bolt doesn't kill him. So he gets a whole
Correct.
other draw step.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder what Mono White's plan here is. It seems like it's fairly easy to lock them down with this Jeskai deck. Like there's just not a lot of
No, so the deck can grind for sure. He definitely got tripped up by the Geist.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's kicking himself for he had an opportunity to keep 2 birds back, which would have been able to take out the Geist early.
Right.
If Justin wanted to attack into it.
Right.
Other than that, he's going to be hard pressed to find an answer. You may see some Blessed Alliances coming out of the board here. But that doesn't do a whole lot because he can just sack the Angel. Well, I guess
no,
you can do
cast
that
it while the
in
Angel triggers
response.
on the stack.
Yep.
Blessed Alliance is, man, that card has really emerged from that that set, that Dark Ascension set as a, is it Dark Ascension or?
Definitely not Dark Ascension.
No, it's the second
Eldritch Moon.
Eldritch Moon. It's really emerged from that set as an all-star.
There were a lot of cards in that set that were all-stars.
Name another all-star from that
Great
set.
Grimflayer. All-star.
Haven't seen a ton of Grimflayers. Man, might be time to pick those up. If
Haven't seen a ton of Grimflayers. Where have you been looking?
at top 8 lists.
How about Liliana, The Last Hope, All-Star.
All-star?
All-Star. Hey now. She's an all-star. Emrakul's an all-star.
Okay, Emrakul is quite the all-star. Yeah. All right, MTG Finance tip right here
Thanks,
on
Billy.
on Tuesday Night Modern. Is Bill Caminos in the chat?
Bill Caminos just subscribed.
Did he?
Yeah. What a champion that
Man.
Bill Caminos is.
Bill Caminos. If you guys see who just subscribed, the guy has like the sickest tech deck lists.
He does have deck lists.
And they're awesome. So here's your finance.
Tell me
Tip of
all
the
about
day.
the finance tip.
I'm a buyer on Grimflayers at 10 each.
Okay. Buy him up. Heard it here first.
I don't know. Okay, so when I say a finance tip, I mean this is probably the cheapest you're ever going to get the card. I don't think that you're going to be able to buy them at 10 and then resell them at a later date for more than 10.
Yes, White Fox. We're doing modern tonight.
Because you have to in order for a common man to be able to resell, the card has to double.
Yes.
And so I don't think it's going to double from 10, but I do think 10 is as low as it's going to get.
You don't think it'll be a $20 card ever?
I don't.
Oh, wow. Aggressive.
Yeah, it's a pretty aggressive prediction. So let's see, Mono White Martyr, I would assume you would want to bring in some kind of graveyard hate against this Jeskai deck. Like it's not tons of interaction with the graveyard, but that includes, I'm wondering if it has like a Cavern of Souls. Because Martyr's a human and
Sarah Ascendant's a human.
And I think
Ranger of Eos is a human.
Eos is a human. So like that
Squadron Hawk, not a human.
not a human, but you could
Definitely
name
a bird.
The second cavern could name Hawk if you had 2 of them in there.
Weathered Wayfarer,
Human.
human. I don't know if he runs Emeria or not, but that requires the use of planes,
Right.
and so he may have to have made that concession.
All right. Well, I guess you concede to Emeria. And here we are with a lead-off Weathered Wayfarer again.
Yeah, so the mono white deck's definitely geared to grind.
I just can't imagine a world where I'm
Imagine a world.
in a world where you're activating Weathered Wayfarer on the play doesn't exist.
It can exist, man. It can exist.
Do you just randomly keep one lander?
Yeah.
Weathered
who's gonna,
Wayfarer?
Who's gonna bolt a Weathered Wayfarer? I would keep a one-lander with a Weathered Wayfarer if I had like a second one-drop.
So you attack on your turn 2. They take their turn 2. You untap, activate Weathered Wayfarer, and play a second 1-drop?
Yeah.
Alright.
It's not the end of the world. I mean, the hand would have to be pretty good. Aside from that. But there's a lot of 1-drops in this deck.
Sure. I just think sending them back on turn 3 with 2 1-drops in play is just, I mean, you're way behind. Unless one of the 1-drops is Isamaru, Hound of Conda.
What if it's like a Sarah Senate?
Aren't you at 30? Because they're just going to electrolyze that bad boy.
You're going to be at 30 real soon. Trust me.
Well, you leave them a window where they get
Believe me.
They get to get 2 for none on your electrolyze.
Yeah, man, you can't play around electrolyze when you're playing a deck full of 1/1s. It's going to happen.
So, forget
Rest in Peace.
Tell me what you know about Surgical Extraction. Is this the only one of these cards that's reasonable?
I mean, Extirpate's okay against like the random graveyard combo decks that are going to be able to protect it. How do you feel about Surgical Extraction on Serum Visions, though? That seems really weak.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So I think a lot of, and I'm not saying Logan is, but a lot of mediocre players will Surgical Extract the first thing they see. Just thinking, like, you know, they can't
wait on it forever.
Right, and that's not how you want to play that card.
No, I would Surgically Extract the first thing he Snapcasters.
Absolutely.
Because then you at least get the value out of not having the Snapcaster trigger matter.
Now, the bonus here is that Logan does get to see Justin's hand, and he does know about an Electrolyze, so he can play around a little bit.
Yeah, but you don't want to play around an Electrolyze forever.
No. But you're not going to... Well, that's a solid one. You're not going to run out, you know, a Sarah Ascendant.
Did he attack first, and he's going to make a token here?
Yeah, that seems like a mistake, but it's also okay. If he electrolyzes here, that's fine.
Okay, so he makes a token to block the incoming Snapcaster, but Justin's just going to be able to electrolyze if he wants to. He can get...
we stream Standard on Wednesdays and some Fridays. We haven't been streaming on Fridays because it's kind of been a little bit of a lame duck format, but I'd imagine with the rotation you'll see a lot more Standard on Fridays.
I'm going to be drafting this Friday, but the Fridays after that, Standard.
Oh, are you afraid of new formats? Is that why you're drafting?
No, I have to play in a limited PPTQ this weekend.
So you're terrified. You're quaking in your boots. Here we see the Ranger of Eos.
Nat, how can you resist sinking your teeth into a new draft format?
A Thraben Inspector. Talk about Standard All-Stars.
Yeah. That card overperformed by a mile.
Was the best one-drop in Standard for a very long time.
Concur.
I got the concur. Yeah.
Well, when this is the situation you find yourself in.
This is the situation we are finding ourselves in. Thanks for the follow, White Fox. Hopefully you'll join us tomorrow to check out some of that post-rotation Standard testing.
Is that what's happening tomorrow?
Yes. That'll take out the Elspeth.
Justin has a card that handles the Elspeth. That's important.
Absolutely. That Elspeth was going to get out of control very quickly. I'm surprised that Logan didn't get the Sarah Ascendant.
Right.
I don't know that Thraben Inspector does a whole lot here.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, if you want like one drops just to have like creatures in place, Thraben Inspector is fantastic.
Right.
I don't understand getting it here. Like, if it's part of a situation that you need the artifact, or
I think he's thinking about popping this martyr now. Here we go. So we're going to gain a cool 15. So he goes up to 33. He has the Serra Ascendant.
Right. And he has this Path to Exile,
And he's...
which I kind of had. Yeah, I think you have to spend it now to avoid the Cryptic Command.
Absolutely. You might see a bolt, snap bolt. Here deals with the Serra Ascendant if he has a bolt in hand.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one unknown at the moment.
Yeah, in situations like this is where you would love to have that Surgical Extraction.
Absolutely.
So new floor ruling that we were talking about last night.
Yeah.
On Path to Exile.
So I don't know if it goes into effect right away or it goes into effect this Friday with the legality of Ixalan.
Well,
but
here's the thing: if you're not already doing this, you're a cheat scumbag.
a cheat and a scumbag. I disagree with that. I'm not going to insult anybody's ethics here.
I will.
Wow. Looks like we're deploying the Geist. Interesting that he didn't keep Cryptic Mana up here. I'd be fine just passing. He could have an Electrolyze in hand. I don't know.
So Justin could take one hit here, and that.
Yeah, it's a big boy. It's a 6/6. Man, Thraben Inspector plus this token are going to do a number on this Geist.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have to snap his Electrolyze back. Here's a Logic Knot.
Alright, we successfully countered a Thraben Inspector with a Logic Knot. Check that one off the bucket list.
It's not something you see every day.
It is something you see every day in your dreams. But as we were saying about the new floor ruling, with the path there, basically now if you path something and they don't fetch, like you can just let it go. But with the new rules, which I believe go into effect with Ixalan, if you path something or Ghost Quarter something, or even use that new Mass Path to Exile spell, and your opponent does not search or take advantage of the optional part of that, you do have to remind them of the optional part.
Yeah, you have to get a verbal confirmation as to whether or not they're choosing to participate in the optional part.
Right. Inspector is way too strong. Definitely have to Logic Knot that one out.
Yeah, man. Thraben Inspector
Yeah,
OP.
man. I can see that ruling getting annoying.
What, as to whether or not you verbally achieved confirmation?
Well, not so much that, but say you pass something, and like you're just trying to play fast, and they don't search. Like it's understood that like you're playing against a modern deck, and they only have like one or two basics sometimes, and they just know that. Like having to stop and ask every time is kind of annoying, but I think overall it's a good change. Yeah, so if your opponent paths your creature and doesn't remind you, and you don't search, it'll probably just be a warning. But yeah, that is the rule. I believe in the official statement they said they would string you out on the yard arm, but
Well,
I don't think that's a real penalty that a judge can administer. So
wouldn't know where to find a yard arm. If you put me on the middle of a sailboat of a pirate ship, wouldn't be able to point out the yard arm.
All right. I think it's the thing that points out in front of the boat.
Okay. I thought that had a different name because like they put sculptures on it.
Yeah, the sculpture is something else.
Okay. Well, here's an attempt at a spell. It's going to achieve a cryptic command. I'm almost positive.
Yeah, I don't know how good Oblivion Ring this Snapcaster is anyway,
Right.
but you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. Alright, I'm gonna pull up what a yard arm is real quick just to be sure.
So Justin really identified what the important part was here. Like Logan can have whatever life total, and he can very quickly whittle that away. Like dealing damage in chunks of 6 and 8, and 10 even. Really can shorten the game very much. I don't know why you would path the angel there. If you path the Snapcaster Mage, then you get to not take the 2 every turn, whereas by pathing the creature that's going to come back, it's less.
Right. I'm not sure what the math is here, so he's now at 12, he's taking 2.
Even if it's one more attack, the math is the same.
Correct, but he could draw like any number of ground 1/1s that can chump this Snapcaster.
Sure, he could Thraben Inspector. Everything's going to get countered.
Say that's my Thraben Inspector. So the yard arm is the outer extremity of a ship's yard.
I wouldn't know if I was in the yard or not. Can I get like a diagram?
We'll try to find a diagram. There you go.
The yards and then the yard arms. Interesting. So the yards are the horizontal pieces that come off the mast.
Oh, so we're forecasting real quick. Sorry, we're forecasting a Proclamation of Rebirth, which is the card you were talking about before. We're gonna be able to get back this Martyr of Sands unless Justin has like a disallow.
Yeah. So this is the advantage here is because forecast is not casting a spell, so you can't like cryptic command it. You have to have an ability that counters an activated ability or a trigger. I guess it's a trigger forecast.
Forecast. Yes.
So when you guys are looking at a pirate ship, the mast holds up the sail. The yard arms are the horizontal, or the yards are the horizontal parts, and then they apparently have additional lengths added onto them.
Yeah, like a little arm.
It's a little arm off of the. That's a yard arm. So that's what you'll be hanging from if you try to scumbag cheat your opponent with Path Exile.
Forecast is an activated ability that you can only activate during your upkeep and only once each turn.
Okay, so it's an activated. So here.
So he's gaining 9 and taking 8. So we're at a point where he is slowly crawling back into this.
He's gonna slowly chip away his life total. I suppose Justin can overcome this here with one of these celestial colonnades. I see 2 down there.
Thinking about
Is
killing
that
this-
is it Staticaster?
It is.
Staticast. Okay, so then he Staticast here. Logan's gonna go up to 18. So now,
We get to attack for
12 if he activates the colonnade, and then 3 more from this lightning bolt in his hand. Goes to 15. Man, that's close. Oh, does he have 2 colonnades and enough to activate them? They cost 5.
I think you can only activate 1 unless you place another land.
Oh, I think this Electrolyze kind of does it. Oh, the lightning bolt off the Jace definitely does it. So he's going to get this mini Factor Fiction split. So he gets to pick either Logic Knot on a land or a lightning bolt that wins him the game. What?
He's taking the 2. Now he can activate both colonnades, I believe. What?
What?
What? Going the full-on fetch shock, even though I saw planes in there.
Listen, man, you never know what you're gonna need that blue mana.
Not this turn, and this happens to be the last one, so... So it's 16, and you're at 15, sir.
Super close.
That'll do it.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
He almost set it up so that he could come back into that game.
Yeah, he almost got into the grind phase, but was about a card in hand too short of converting that one.
We're gonna set it up so that you guys can come back and join us in about 10 minutes here. Give us 10. Come back in 10. We're gonna go look for another great Tuesday Night Modern match. Until then, sit tight.
Don't move.